When modern women engage in promiscuity, even on camera, it's all good because they get attention and VIP treatment. The reality, though, is that they'll never get a goddamn ring on their fingers, let alone a happy marriage in their lives.
And you start dating these men who are super good looking, high status, but realize they're just using you for sex and don't have any intention of being in a long-term relationship with you because of what you did previously.
The narrative that women are innocent and get taken advantage of can be absolutely false. If they're the ones trying to get their foot in the door of the adult content industry, it's not because there are no other job opportunities, it's that this industry could make them more money than an average grocery store job.
I was curious about this whole concept, which is the idea of what Lana Rhoades, Mia Khalifa, Riley Reid said after they left the industry. For what is it that you think when they left, what is the narrative that you believe is actually going on there?
Like Mia Khalifa is an interesting one because Mia Khalifa constantly, I think honestly Mia Khalifa is one of the best marketers on the planet.
Yes.
Because Mia Khalifa, what she does every couple of years, she'll go out on Twitter or something and be like, oh, the industry exploited me, it was a terrible experience, woe is me. And then she'll get absolutely every single current performing female in the industry retweeting her, boosting her signal.
Yeah.
And she just does this on repeat every 2 years. And so I think Mia Khalifa is actually a lot smarter than people give her credit for. If she genuinely had a problem with the adult industry, she wouldn't have an OnlyFans and she wouldn't keep using her stage name.
Yeah.
Now, with the other two girls, they get to this point where what you might call the epiphany phase. They're cranking out some kids, and they're starting to realize, oh, well, this is probably going to have a negative impact on my kid when they eventually get into high school or whatever.
And I don't want to pay for this, and therefore I'm going to complain about the world that I live in.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit there and pretend like this wasn't a decision of my own making. In some way, shape, or form, this was bad for me. But your entire net worth is based around the fact that you did this. This idea of personal responsibility, it just seems to be missing a lot these days. I see people complain. I see a lot of people sort of trying to just get rid of this idea that they had any control over their life.
Yeah,
and I can't accept that narrative.
So let's get into this specifically with Mia Khalifa. She implies that she was pimped out by her boyfriend, and that she vaguely remembers any of the experience what she was doing during the time because she was drugged up the whole time. If that truly was her experience, I feel bad for her. I totally understand why that would be an issue, and I get that. And by the way, I'm not negating that their experience is not their own. I'm sure that their experience, if Lana Rhoades truly believes that she was taken advantage of, she has the right to have that belief. However, the problem is, what I'm curious is, from your standpoint, do you find the Hugh Hefner documentary comes out? Tons of playmates come out and say, this was not my experience. I enjoyed being with Hugh Hefner. Yeah. The vast majority have said that, okay? Still controversial. Have you found, after Lana Rhoades and Mia Khalifa and Riley Reid have said what they've said, have you found that the majority of adult actresses are agreeing with them?
No.
Yeah, they're not.
No, absolutely not. Especially if they're currently working.
I just spoke to Bridget B 72 hours ago, and she said the same thing. She said, absolutely, I don't agree with what she was saying.
Bridget B is amazing. I love Bridget, by the way. But all the girls who are currently working, basically, they enjoy the industry. They keep shooting. That's why they do it. That's why they do it. No one is human trafficking. This idea of trafficking very often gets conflated with the professional adult industry.
Oh, we're going to get into that in a second.
And they're so separate. People get into adult of their own free will, and they do it on purpose. And I know, all the agents in LA, these guys aren't out there recruiting. Their emails are full of young women hitting them up every day, trying to break into the industry.
So the model has changed now, whereas before you were getting paid. Remember, I go back to when I was talking about Chasey Lane and Jenna Jameson. These girls were signing multi-million-dollar contracts with individual studios. Yep. That doesn't happen as much anymore. There's probably very few girls that do that now. What has happened is now studio porn is now a lead gen for fans. Right? Even for Karen Lee, it's a lead gen so that they can get back to their own porn, where they're now making 80% of the profit, whereas they're making very little. We had Amanda Nicole on here. She's got 10 million followers on Instagram. She only films with her boyfriend. And then what happened was she did one scene as lead generation to go back to her fans. That's how the model has changed, and totally. That's why there's so many girls that are trying to jump in it from that standpoint now.
Yeah, and I've talked to some new girls in the industry when I was actively shooting a lot more. I would tell them that exact same thing. I'd be like, okay, look, you have a choice here. It's you can shoot professional photography consistently and kind of, I want to say, make yourself a little bit less scarce, right? Or you could do one or two scenes for one scene for or something, or maybe one for Evil Angel.
Yeah.
Really blow up your signal and then shoot for them never again. And all of that audience has to come to your fans for the rest of eternity. I got into this really interesting period just before OnlyFans.
Right.
But also after Pornhub.
Yeah.
That was like the dry period.
Meaning when there was so much free pornography out there that the margins were being dried up, basically.
Yeah, basically. So prior to Pornhub, like the actors and actresses were getting paid like at least 4x what they were during like the 2015 onwards, right? And now, okay, they're still getting paid the same for like a day shoot with Brazzers or something, but now they also have OnlyFans stuff on the back end. So they can make their own cut infinitely more than they ever used to be able to, like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's insane. Like the amount of money that the individual adult pornographer can make off their own personal brand now is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it definitely is. And the other thing, going back to what we were saying before, the situation with Lana Rhoades and Mia Khalifa and Riley Reid, one of the things that I found difficult was, and this is what I generally have a problem with. It's if their situation or if their experience was negative, I get that. It's when people start speaking for other people's experience. And what I mean by that is when Mia Khalifa comes out and says that any man who wants to date a younger woman is somehow lacking. And I'm like, yeah, he's lacking a younger woman, bro. Like, that's what he's lacking. Because here's the problem. We talk about this in finance. I originally come from finance. We talk about talking your book. Elon Musk is a great example of talking your book. Elon Musk will say something positive about Twitter or say something positive about Tesla, but that's because he owns Tesla. Tesla's in his book. It's in his portfolio.
Right.
With Mia Khalifa, when she says men don't like these older women, they like younger women and therefore they're insecure, what is she doing? She's talking her book. She's not who she was when she did the initial pornography. She's older now. And so maybe the cognitive bias hasn't reached her. Maybe she legitimately doesn't even understand that this is where some of this comes from.
She was that young girl who got the attention and the dicks, but now that she's been ran through, is divorced, and her naked body is all over the internet, no man wants her as a wife, but just as a one-night stand.
The problem is I'm not going out searching for younger women. They're just attracted to me because I'm an established 45-year-old former U.S. military officer. Mm-hmm. They would rather be with me because of the security that it gleans them. It is not a function of me I don't have to go out and look for that. For her to then intimate that I'm lacking something, it's so insulting. She doesn't know me or my life. Conversely, I'm supposed to believe her experience is valid, but mine isn't.
Yeah.
You see what my point? This is the issue that I'm having. It's like always people talk about free speech, let's all be friends, peace, love, and joy, positive energy, until you don't agree with them.
The tolerance society preaches is, to say the least, very selective. If you claim that you want virgins or modest women for that matter, you're dismissed as insecure. But a woman who wants a millionaire man, or even worse, just wants a guy with a certain tool size, is just exercising her preferences. Clown world.
Until you don't agree with them, then there's a fucking problem with what they're saying. The same situation with Lana Rhoades saying that pornography should be banned, like should just be completely made illegal.
I've seen that Mia Khalifa tweet where she was, trying to shame older dudes, and it's like, you can't shame away biology.
Yes.
And honey, there's a reason you were booked when you were young, you're an 18 to 22-year-old chick, like that got you your first gigs. And that's the same for every girl who gets in the industry at a young age. It's like we're biologically programmed to want a fertile woman. Simple as that.
Here's what I think's happening. They got through doing it, and they're like, gosh, I did this, and now I'm casting this part of my life aside. And as they go through life, they keep meeting men who are not trying to date this pretty girl. Lana Rhoades is still a very beautiful woman. They're not. I happen to know one of Lana's exes, very popular, very prominent relationship that she was in, and I personally believe he was dating Lana Rhoades star, and she was trying to have a long-term relationship with a guy who, to be fair, it was a clout jacking for both sides.
Makes sense.
Logan Paul's co-host. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it was just one of the, you see what I'm saying? Like, it was one of these things like this was so bad, and then she continues to clout jack. And I'm like, I don't understand how you expect. And then the NFT thing, god damn, bro. She sits there, creates an NFT, and then when people are mean to her, she decides to take the money and run. So now there's no integrity dealing with her financially, but yet I'm supposed to believe her experience when it comes to how she experienced porn. And it leads me to believe, and I don't know this to be true, but it would lend someone to believe maybe she did enjoy doing porn while she was doing it. And now that she has to reap the repercussions of what she did, now she is retroactively going back and crying foul. And every time she does it, she gets to put this blanket of victimhood around her, which gives her more power. It gives her more armor in order to say what she wants to say. And it becomes more and more problematic when she says these kind of things. Because again, I don't want to disrespect if she legitimately feels like she was extorted, that's her opinion to believe that. My point is, it definitely feels like now, because you're older and you go to the PTA meetings and all the other ladies are staring at you, right? And you start dating these men who are super good looking, high status, but realize they're just using you for sex and don't have any intention of being in a long-term relationship with you because of what you did previously. Now you're like, I'm having to pay consequences for something that I don't feel is my fault when it might actually be your fault. That's what it feels like to me.
Former corn stars say they were coerced and exploited only after getting the bag. So funny. Let's check some comments. Modern women have been trained to make choices, then blame men when consequences for those choices inevitably come around. Why hold yourself accountable as a woman when you could just victimize yourself and get praised for it instead? Woman and accountability? Come on, man. That is an oxymoron. Part of the problem is the infantilization of young adults in our society today. Lots of people will unironically say that 18 is only legally an adult, but they're still children, and that's pure bullshit. Everyone has to start somewhere and learn from life. The more we infantilize young adults, the harder it will be for them to learn from their mistakes and thrive. Mia, I got every man I ever wanted because men are easy. Also, Mia, why do men keep picking younger girls than me? We live in a stupid society. That fact that some women can be in the porn industry for multiple months or even years, can film multiple porn videos by their own free will, and when they retire, they can simply call themselves a victim, is crazy. At the same time, these women will still use their porn name and are on OF. I also find it stupid how women who are on OF are empowered, but men who watch porn are demonized. If watching porn is not okay, then posting naked pictures or videos of yourself should also not be okay. To wrap up this video and continuing with the topic, check this woman who regrets being part of the industry. Know how mentally unstable she is.
It's days like this where I realize I need to go play with myself for a living. I just ate. I'm tired. And then I think to myself, maybe a 9-to-5 won't be so bad, you know? Maybe a nice desk job. Shut up. Shush. You know, maybe get a trade for something. So I don't have to wake up at 7 a.m. and get ready so I can have an orgasm. I know you don't feel sorry for me, but after 4 years, my clit just sits there. It's like, please, ma'am, no more. Not again. I'm just like, no, I'm sorry. Hey, Ruby, you know what we should do when mommy's done being a hoe for the day? We should go for a walk. That's right, we go for a walk. Yeah. But mama's gotta be a hoe first. I gotta bust out the dildos. I gotta play with myself and make some money so I can keep affording that expensive ass wet dog food that you will only eat because you suck. Yes. You know what? Should we share with the world the song that mommy wrote you? Yeah, we should, huh? Okay. You are my puppy, and mommy is a slut, and you are so lucky because you can lick your own butt. That's all I got right now. But yes, my little oopie. So my friend Paul introduced me to a weed that I can actually smoke without having a fucking panic attack. And I am so fucking excited about it because I can finally start smoking again, and it's been years. So for those of you that don't know me, this is monumental. This is fucking monumental. Because I haven't been able to smoke weed for 5 years now, I think. So yeah, I just wanted to share that little piece of trivia with you guys. Have a nice day.
This girl is deeply damaged emotionally. I couldn't follow her anymore, it's just depressing. She uses sex, jokes, and social media looking for attention and feeling of love. When she's super sad in real life, seriously, hope she gets help. Most stars are like this, she just chooses to show it. The more you watch the true reality of their lives, the more you choose not to watch, as it's fake and this is reality. Sympathy and empathy is reserved for those that actually deserve it. She chose this life, and that's her right, but she will get the consequences. Guys, thanks for checking out this video. Stay tuned for more daily content. Like, subscribe, and comment. See you in the next video, guys. Till next time.